Wobba here, and we have a lot more champions that just got released today for the Valentine's Fusion event. So, just a reminder that that event is going to start tomorrow. It's already been announced from Polarium, and they've also announced that there's going to be a times 2 Sacred Shard opening. So that's going to align with your summoning rush that you see in your events happening tomorrow. So just make sure that you check on the rates here on your summoning. That should be a big display, as well as the rates are going to change for the sacred shards. So anyways, we have 4 legendaries and 4 epics. I'm not going to go over the rares right now. If you guys want to know more about those, just let me know and I'll be happy to answer any questions. But there's 8 here in total. I don't want to take too much time with them. So let's start with the Undead Hordes. And I think this is the first, this is the first Void Legendary that the Undeads have got so far. So this is kind of exciting. So we have the Bride here, the Lost Bride. She is support, and from looking at her stats, her base stats, they are really high. Almost 1,300 defense, 114 speed. That's one of the highest in the game. I know Venus is pretty high too. I can't remember what hers is, and pretty high HP as well. So that's good. So let's see. A1 here, attack one enemy, 80% chance to place a sleep debuff. I don't really like that. And then let's see here. If the turn meter is equal to or above. Okay, so that's a condition there. And then the debuff cannot be resisted. And then if it looks like their turn meter is below 50%, it's going to heal all the allies unless A1 by 5% of their max HP. So I don't really like that one. I don't like sleep in general. And this isn't a big heal, so it kind of just makes me think opportunity to be frozen by Tormund currently. So the A2 here, let's see, you can reduce it to 3 turns, and it's fill the turn meter of all allies by 15% and places a block debuffs, 6% increased defense, and a 30% increased speed buff on all allies. So this is a pretty strong skill. On a 3 turn for a block debuffs, increase defense, and a 30% increased speed buff on all allies. I don't know. I mean, not that I'd probably use this character, but that's a pretty strong skill for Clan Boss. I know she's probably built for Arena, though. So this isn't bad. I like this. I like the block debuffs, increased defense, increased speed. That's a pretty strong skill there on a 3-turn cooldown. So the A3, let's see here. Revive a single ally with 55% HP and full turn meter. That's good. So anytime we revive someone, we definitely are looking for the full turn meter skills there. And then as well as places a large version of the increased attack, and then a large version of the increased crit rates on that champion. So, if you have kind of a nuker out there, you're going to be able to revive that nuker, and they're going to get buffs and have a turn instantly. So that's a pretty strong skill in Arena. I like that one. Let's see. The passive here heals each ally by 15% of their max HP at the start of their turn. Okay. Has a 40% chance of removing freeze and fear debuffs for each ally at the start of their turn. So this is good. This is good. So when you're facing Tormund and you're getting all those freezes by turn meter increases or heals, this will give them a chance. Let's see here. So they have a 40% chance, 50. So every turn they have a 50% chance to remove that freeze from Tormund. That is strong. I like that. And then if they're lined with the Groom here, they can remove all debuffs from the Groom at the start of their turn if they're in the same team. So we'll look at Groom here in a second, but it sounds like if you have him paired up, he's basically going to get his debuffs removed at the start of his turn. So I like the A2 here. That's really strong. Um, actually, the A2 and the A3, both of these are really strong, and this passive is really nice for Tormund. So this is a pretty good arena champion. I like this champion. They have really high base stats. So let's take a look at the Groom here and see. So high attack, high defense, kind of low speed, and really low HP. Really low HP. So let's see, A1 here, 75% chance of placing the large version defense debuff on them. And then also a chance to do an extra turn. Okay, so the extra turn's nice, and the debuff is a perk. The A2, attack one enemy, decrease the target's max HP by 20%, and then adds that HP to this champion's own max HP. Okay, so he has low base HP, and basically he's going to utilize this skill, which if you get it booked up, is a 2-turn cooldown. So that's really fast. And basically he's going to be able to kind of steal people's max HP. And let's see here. That says they can't decrease champion's max HP by more than 60% in one battle. And it can't increase this champion's max HP by more than 60,000, which we're talking about max HP. Okay. So not bad. I mean, you know, if you're facing like a Mountain King or something, you use this skill on him, and that's quite a bit. I mean, 20% of a Mountain King's hit points on one turn there. That's quite a bit. And then it looks like they have a little stipulation here for bosses. So that's okay. But, oh, what was this one? So this one's based on attack and HP. I didn't see that. And this one as well. So he has really high attack. He doesn't have high HP, but once he steals some HP, that actually might hit pretty hard, maybe. So, interesting. I don't know yet. So are these all these are all one enemy target. Okay, so A3 here, attack one enemy, ignores 75% of the target's defense. Okay, it's a 3-turn cooldown. It also ignores unkillable and block damage, and grants an extra turn if the enemy's killed. Okay, so what you do is, if you could get the Bride and the Groom together, number one, he's going to get debuffs removed from him for each of his turns. I don't know if that stacks. I guess it's just permanent, so he's not going to get frozen by Tormund. If he goes down, if Groom goes down, you have the Bride revive him with 100% turn meter, increase attack, increase crit damage, and then hopefully this is ready to go, and he is going to pop someone really hard. 75%, ignore 75% of the target's defense, and you can get this higher with either masteries or artifacts. And it's going to ignore unkillable, block damage, and if you kill them, it's going to get you an extra turn. And right here it says they can't be revived. So this skill is arena. That's probably going to hit really hard, I imagine. So I like that. Yeah, I don't know if you could get Bride and Groom if you're extremely lucky. But just standalone, it's not bad. He doesn't have very high HP, but really high defense for an attack champion. And if you can steal some HP from someone else, it didn't look like it heals him. So you're going to have to protect him a little bit, but pretty strong. Let's see here. So we have Skinwalkers for another legendary here. So I'm not going to go over the Battle Pass champions. If you guys want me to, just let me know. But, okay, so we have a Void legendary here. It's really high HP base. Average speed and really low defense. Okay. So A1 is an AoE, always like that. Has a 50% chance of decreasing each target's turn meter by 10%. And then if he's paired up with Minaya, I'm probably saying that wrong. Minaya, he's going to attack everyone twice instead of once, and he's going to have a chance to decrease the turn meter of each turn meter. Okay, so really, instead of 10%, he's going to be able to lower it 20% potentially if paired up with this other legendary champion. And then it looks like it's going to lower the damage, but in total, he's going to hit for the same amount. So really, you're just gaining that extra turn meter decrease, really, unless you have some giant slayer or something. But okay, so based on HP, so that could hit really hard. A2 is a 100% chance when booked out on a 3-turn cooldown, placing a provoke debuff on all enemies, so that's good. And then places a block debuffs and a 60% increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns. Okay. Okay, so this could be good for dungeons if you're having trouble, because he's going to, on a 3-turn cooldown, he's going to get a 100% chance to provoke. He's going to put some buffs on himself. And then, let's see here, what is this? Remove all debuffs from this champion before placing block and increase. Okay, if it's teamed up. So, the team up ones, legendary to legendary, are pretty hard to get, but extra perk there. But yeah, this isn't bad for a dungeon. If you have him and you're having trouble in dungeons, he would help. And then you can always put some artifacts on him to stun or something. So yeah, that could be good. A3, attack all enemies. So a stun set would be good with this guy, or a provoke set if you wanted to. So attack all enemies, places a 50% decreased attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, and places a 6% decreased defense debuff on them on targets under decreased attack debuffs. Okay, so he's going to get an AoE, lower their attack. If they already have that, he's going to place the decreased defense, and it's 4 turns. I wish that was 3 turns. If that was 3 turns, that would be a clan boss setup there, because you know you're going to keep the attack on there. But it's based on HP, so that might hit hard too. So in dungeons, this guy could be pretty good to help you. Let's see, the passives. Counterattacks when hit by an enemy under decreased attack, defense, and speed. Did he have speed on that? He didn't have speed on that. But he has the other 2. Okay, so it looks like 2 of these he can place. And then there's another one, decreased speed, if they have it on there. He's just going to counterattack anyways. And then if he's paired up with the legendary, he's going to always counterattack regardless. So, okay. If you don't have a counterattack champion and you're having trouble, you need some provokes, some defense, guy take the hits, this guy's good. I like this guy. Even though he has really low defense, I don't like that. But his base HP is really high. So, yeah, that or you could put him in a shield set. So he has another passive here. Place a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. Oh, if this champion kills an enemy. Okay. So if he gets provoked, he counterattacks, he might kill some people, and he's going to buff your champions. Okay, that's pretty good. Not bad. I mean, for a Void Legendary, not phenomenal, but that's kind of interesting. I like that. So we have Orcs. And there's an Epic Spirit. Assuming this is it here. Pretty high defense, really high defense. Average HP, kind of low speed here. But it looks like the skills are going to be based on defense, which is good. More survivability, and they're going to hit hard. So the A1 here, attack one enemy 2 times. Has a 50% chance when booked to provoke the enemy for 1 turn. If this champion has no debuffs. Okay. And then heals by 15% damage inflicted if this champion is under any debuffs. Okay. So if they have debuffs, they're going to heal. And if they don't, they're going to provoke. So that's not bad. And it could hit really hard. I mean, she has really high base defense, so that could hit pretty hard. It's okay. And then AoE on A2. So attack all enemies. Decrease the duration of all enemy buffs by 1. And increase the duration of ally buffs. So I like that. That's a really good skill. Not only she has an AoE that scales off of defense, hits pretty hard probably, but she's going to lower debuffs for enemies, and if you have some pretty essential buffs on yourself, she's going to increase those on a 3-turn cooldown. So that's pretty good. You know, especially if you had increased defense or some counterattacks, that could help you out quite a bit in dungeons. And then an aura, all battles, 25% defense. So I like that champion. I like this epic. So far, these epics aren't like garbage. So I'm okay with them releasing these if they're viable. I can see on all these champions so far that someone could use them depending on where you're at in the game. All right, Knight Revenant. We have a Force Epic. This looks like it. Okay. So, was this one defense too? So, 1321 defense. That's also pretty high. All these champions have high base stats somewhere. Average speed and average hit points. But the skill's based off of defense, which I always like. And let's see here. So, they have a 60% chance attack one enemy to place a 50% decreased attack debuff. So that's a strong A1. We always like this 50% decreased attack on an A1, and it's 60% to land it. So that's good. A2 places a 60% increased defense buff and a block debuffs buff on all allies for 2 turns. And it's a 4-turn. Okay. Okay, dang it. So if we had this 3 turns, that would be clan boss. With the A1 and with this, we could definitely use that in clan boss. But we're just short 1 turn. So, but yeah, it's a good skill. Another good skill. And it doesn't, well, that one requires a lot of books. This one doesn't require a lot of books, and that looks like that's all their skills that require books. So, all in all, not too many, I guess the passive requires books. Okay, never mind, I lied. So, the passive here, 25% chance, what is that? So, 35, 40, 50% chance, 50% chance to completely block incoming damage when this champion or their allies are attacked. Occurs once per turn. Okay. I'm starting to really feel like you could try this in clan boss. Because generally, you know, you only have 1 turn per everyone. So if this is saying I have a 50% chance to block incoming damage, like purely all the damage on this champion and the allies, so there's 2 AoEs and there's a stun, that could be really strong. So there's already the decreased attack. This is a 4-turn. I would like it to be a 3-turn, and that would be phenomenal, but still not bad. This still isn't bad. And then we have this potential 50% chance to just ignore the damage, because we know they're going to nerf. They already nerfed the clan boss, so there's not that unkillable and block damage. But this really isn't a block damage buff, so I think it would still work. I don't know. That's interesting. I like that one. And then another all battles defense. So this could be really fun. This champion could be really fun. You'd have to test it a little bit, but yeah, I like that. Dark Elves. So we have an epic spirit. I'll use that guy. Fang Clerk. Okay, so support, decent defense and pretty high speed. Average hit points here, not too bad. A1, attack one enemy. 100% chance when booked out to transfer one random debuff from this champion to the target. Okay, so you don't need resistance, really. I mean, so you get the debuff on you. He attacks, and 100% chance. I'm guessing you have to have accuracy to pass this, but it just transfers one random debuff. Okay. A2 heals an ally by 20% of this champion's max HP. So we build up high HP on this character. Also fills the target's turn meter by 30% if they are fully healed by the skill. Places a veil buff on the target for 1 turn if they are not fully healed. Okay, so it's 2 turns. It's really short turn down there, cooldown there. And it's 20% chance. You kind of book it up a little more and you get them high HP. It's going to heal them, increase their turn meter, and possibly do another buff there. It's not too bad. Not great, but not too bad. A3, revive a dead ally with 30% HP, then fills their turn meter by 30%, and then places an unkillable buff for 1 turn, and a 15% continuous heal. And so it's on a 4 turn. That's okay. So, when you revive them, you don't want them to die right away. They are going to take a turn pretty quick, but it's not bad. I'm not as excited about this champion as the previous one, but they're really fast, has good defense, and some good support skills there. My guess is, I mean, probably like Faction Wars is what I would look for them in, but not horrible. Like, none of these have been horrible. None of these have been horrible so far. And that's what we want, because we don't want more useless champions in here to summon. We don't want that. So we have a Epic Void. Probably that one right there. So a support, decent defense again, and good speed, good HP base. So yeah, my guess is all these champions that they're going to start coming out with, they seem to get better and better, basically making us want to get these champions. Okay, so attack base, that's okay. So AoE on A1, that's good. Heals by 15% of the damage inflicted if this champion has less than 50% HP. Okay. Boost this champion's turn meter by 20% instead if they're higher. Okay. This is a good A1. It's an AoE, and if they need healed, it's going to heal them a little bit. And if they don't, it's going to increase their turn meter to take another turn real quick. So that's good A1. A2, remove all debuffs from all allies. Places a revival and death and a block debuff buffs on allies for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So we definitely like cleanses on all allies. That's always a good skill. And the revival and death, that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad with the block debuffs. I like that. That's 4 turn. That's not bad. With the A1 that maybe, I don't know how much damage she's going to be, but you can always put some different sets on her to kind of help out on a support route. And then the passive damages this character by 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn. Heals all allies except this champion equal to half of the lost HP. So if they have 50,000 HP, she's going to lose 10%, so 5,000. She's going to lose 5,000 and heal them for 2,500. Okay. Okay, it's interesting. Place a 30% decreased speed debuff on this champion for 1 turn at the start of each turn. Okay. and also places a 50% or has a 50% chance to place a fear debuff on this champion. I don't know why. Why do that? So this was interesting. This isn't bad. I mean, it isn't like, you know, life changing, but so why have a passive that has a minimal heal at the expense of their HP, and you're going to put a large version speed debuff on them, as well as potentially put a fear on them? I don't know. I think that kind of ruins the champion. All battles HP. I don't know. I don't really like that one. I don't like that one. I don't know why they did that. That's interesting. Okay, last one here. So we have the legendary force Minea, and I like this graphics. This is nice. Kind of, I can't remember. It kind of reminds me of Venus. I can't remember. I don't have Venus, but it just kind of reminds me of Venus. But it's nice. I like it. So, okay, support. We have pretty high attack and defense. I mean, not bad. They're both over 1,000. And insane speed. And pretty high base HP. So, and I haven't even been saying this, but, you know, I've noticed a lot of these champions have resist as well. And I think generally the only ones I've seen is like the dwarves to have a built-in resist. So that's kind of nice that they're doing that, because faction wars, you kind of need some resistance for especially some of the bosses, but it's nice to resist some of the debuffs from the waves. So the A1, attack one enemy, places a 15% continuous heal buff on an ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. Okay, not phenomenal. A2, attack one enemy as well, heals this champion and the ally with the lowest HP by 10,000 hit points. So they've kind of capped it here. That's interesting, because 10,000 isn't a lot. I mean, it's nice, but it's not a lot, especially for an A2 legendary. And you can never grow this. At least I don't think you can. Like for masteries or stats, I don't think you can increase that. So I don't like that part of it. And then they have a 100% chance when booked out to place a 100% heal reduction debuff on all enemies. It could be useful in some spots, but so far, no. I don't think I like this one so far. A3 heals all allies by 40% of their max HP, places a block debuffs 2 turns, and 2 turns on champions under increased defense buffs. Okay, so they have a stipulation here. Why for the legendary would you do that? So it's gonna heal. It has a nice heal there. That's really nice. And the block debuffs would be nice too, but you have to have an increased defense buff, which is common. I mean, it's not like you can't get that buff, so I guess that's okay. It's on a 4-turn cooldown though, so okay. I guess that's not bad. If a champion is fully healed by the skill, also places a shield buff on them for 2 turns, equal to 25% of the champion's HP. Okay, so that's okay skill. That's pretty good, because this increased defense buff, it's a pretty common buff anyways. And to have a block debuffs for 2 turns, you have 2 turns that you don't have that on there. So 2 turns, you can't get a heal and you can't get the block debuffs if you can keep this increased defense buff on. And then you can also place a shield on you if they didn't need healed in the first place, or if they healed too much. So that could be good. The passive here fills the turn meter of all allies by 20% when this champion is killed. Okay. And then if you're paired up with that other legendary, it revives its champion by 75% HP when killed on a 4-turn cooldown. Okay, so I guess if you accidentally lose them, it's going to help out a little bit of your team. It's 4-turn cooldown. It's only 20%, so it's not like it increases a full turn meter. So it's okay, I guess. And then all speed battles 19, which is a little lower for a legendary. You would think it would be in the 20s, but it's okay. This champion's okay. I wonder. So who was that other one? That this guy. What was that? His skinwalkers. So this is a banner lords. Why would we be teamed up with a skinwalkers? Who's this guy? This guy. Why would they pair up those two together? Okay. Well, he has flowers all over him. What did she look like again? Okay, she has flowers. Little heart cape. Okay. So what are these guys? These guys like a couple or something? So he has flowers too. Oh, that's a little flower cape. So maybe he's like, maybe he morphed or something and he changed. Maybe he was like a banner lord and I don't know, he's like the beast now. He's a beast and okay, she's like the beauty, possibly. Okay. Interesting. But so yeah, that's the 8 champions. None of those were bad. Not horribly bad. Some of them I liked a little better than others, but none of those legendaries or epics were just straight garbage, I think. So, and I know some of the rares were decent as well. Let me know what you guys think. If you're kind of interested in other rares, I can go over those as well. But overall, I think it's a pretty good addition to Champions to play around with and see what we can do. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.